let's give this a go, huh? So, new bits. I figured I'd got something to do. Might as well pop it up on the Twitch, eh? Why not? Before we proceed, let's just investigate the contents. See what's going on. All right, got all our bits. Let's try and see what's going on here. This is the thing. This is what I've been playing all my Super Nintendos on, guys. Very exciting. So it's the DE10 Nano down the bottom. We've got the analog board on top. We've got the 128 meg SDram sort of add-on, and that's sort of what I've been working with. Now, things that are different. Number one is probably the case. Another addition that is not essential, but the case is kind of designed around it, so sort of essential. Just a USB hub, essentially. Just so you can plug in more USB things. I really only use one. It's not essential for me, but the case is so nice. I figured, why not do the hub? It is essential for the case as far as I'm concerned. Let's check out the main affair though. And I was told to possibly open this over a container because there are bits inside that can possibly fall out. All right. Here we go. So, what do we have here? A lovely aluminium case. I sprung for the black. The other option, the kind of silver, the lighter one, looks really nice as well, but you know me. Okay, so it appears as though I will need to open this up a bit. But before I do that, just because I want to get things done in a particular order, I do need to disassemble this. There's a couple of things that make it incompatible with the case. Number one is going to be this little heatsink that I've got sitting on the main chip, the Cyclone 5. That has to be removed. So, but as well as that, this has been sitting in the open air for a little while. It's probably accumulated. It doesn't look like it's very dusty actually, but you know, I figure we'll give it a little bit of a clean up before proceeding. And I'll need to give it a little couple of seconds for all of the cleaning solution to dissipate. So, let's see if this is as easy as when I built it, possibly a little while ago. I do recall that it was quite a, you know, being the first time I'd built anything like this, it was quite a little daunting. You know, you don't know how much pressure to use, and you've got to make sure everything lines up correctly. Hopefully this time things should be, things will be a little bit smoother. But it's pretty exciting. I've been following the creator, the designer and creator, and guy that sells these cases for a little while. What order should I do this in? I guess I should maybe pull the RAM. Let's see how that goes. I don't know how much force to use still. I really don't want to break anything, so I'm just going to kind of start wedging it up from the bottom rather than sort of pulling on the board. Now this RAM board, by the way, was now I should talk about a couple of vendors. I'm not associated with any of them, but probably worthwhile mentioning that the case, USB hub, all the new stuff today is from Misteraddons or Mr. FPGA. both of them .coms. I believe they direct at the same place. It's a guy who goes by the name of Pork Chop Express. He's on Twitter, he's on YouTube, all sorts of cool stuff like that. Sells a lot of stuff. Anyway, all the new stuff today is that. The RAM board. There's a company in Australia called Mr. Mods or something like that. I think that's what it is, Mr. Mods. Great job, no issues with the RAM so far. Very happy with that, I would buy again. Let's get this analog IO board off as well. It should freely kind of come off, I would hope. Let's give that a blast. I'll tell you a little bit about where I acquired that. Once I can figure this out, I really don't want to go too hard. I don't want to have to rebuy a bunch of stuff, to be perfectly honest. All right. So I think, how does this work? It's one of those things you build it once, and then you forget all about it. All right, cool. So it looks like the little female side comes up with it. Cool. All right. So this one also from Australia, different dude, Cam Inventions. And he sells them without the fan or anything like that, because he runs his own sort of case and different fan solutions. So it's, you know, it's the IO board 6.1, I think it is, yeah. A 6.1 IO board. No fan, anything like that, which is perfect. I don't need to remove one because the new solution, the case is the heatsink essentially. So easy done. Cam Inventions is where I bought this one from. And lastly, the most important bit of all, the DE10 Nano, which is, my understanding is it's a partnership between Intel and Jurassic. It's an educational board that they are selling possibly at Intel's cost for educational purposes. So it's relatively inexpensive for what it is. But what we got to do, we've got to get the this heatsink off, which I believe I just got a rando kind of heatsink from a J car. If you're from Australia, you'd understand what that is. The question is, how easy is it going to be to get this heatsink off? I have no idea. Maybe start by giving it a little twist or something. Okay, well, there we go. Heatsink done. And yeah, this actually looks surprisingly clean. One thing I want to do, I just want to get this on camera just for a sec. I just want to make sure I've got a record of where these dip switches are. Sorry, just these main kind of switches. They're all facing towards the outside. And I don't know if the camera is going to pick up these very, very small actual dip switches. But for my own records, from 1 to 6, we have on, off, on, off, on. That's 1 is on, 2 is off, 3 is on, 4 is off, 5 is on, and 6 is on. Okay? I can cross-reference that later just in case something goes horribly wrong. Very cool. Anyway, let's clean things up a little bit. So, I really don't think it's actually that bad, to be perfectly honest, but you know, I'll give it a little brush down just to begin with anyway. Just in case there's a whole bunch of dust that I can't really see, but you know, I don't think this is a particularly dusty environment. So I don't think we're in too much risk of having a dirty, dusty, clogged up board or anything like that. But I am going to go over this, over where the heatsink was with a little bit of isopropyl, just to make sure we get a little bit of that sort of residual stuff off there. Very exciting stuff. Okay, next. You'd think this one would cop most of the dust being on top. So we'll just give that a little bit of a wipe down as well. So one thing that's different about this, like I said, this is from Cam Inventions. A guy, I'm not sure, I think he might be from Western Australia. I don't remember. It was a little while ago. Like I said, he doesn't do the standard thing where you have a fan on there. He actually has different headers as well. Normally there's like a little kind of mini, Molex or JST connector or something like that. But in this case, there's some actual pin headers for the fan, which once again, I'll not be using. Okay, sync on green is set to off, I guess, left. Good to know. All right. This stuff all looks really clean. I really don't have an issue with that. So what's a good thing to do? The DE10. Just gonna give the what's a good way to do this? I've got a little toothbrush. Let's don't want to make too much mess. So I don't want to spray it everywhere. But I'll just get some on here. Just clean off that, because like I said, there's a little bit of residual kind of mess. Not mess, but you know, there was an adhesive pad that attached the old heatsink that I was using. Just want to make sure that we're totally clear. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. And it's evaporating very quickly. One of the beautiful things about isopropyl alcohol. Just another quick pass. Go the other way. Very exciting. All right. Seems pretty good, I guess. So. Don't know if we'll need any more ISO. Oh, hey. It's blue. And Agorija. Yes, a tech stream. I'm doing some upgrades. I finally got my my case for my bits that I play Super Mario World on. So I thought, hey, I'll set some stuff up. It'll be very exciting, and I get to build a new toy. Now at this point, now that we've got all the parts, I guess I may have to start referring to the official video. Updated version of the assembly instructions for the aluminum case. Let's see. Is this the right bit? That is indeed the right bit. Fantastic. So, guys, this stream is officially sponsored by by iFixit. I've had this this screwdriver kit for years and years and years and years at this point. It's absolutely nuts. I bought it as like, oh, this will be kind of cool one day. Yeah, I'll use it sometimes, but all the time. Stupid. How often, how much value I've gotten out of it. But it's a very, very long time ago on, I think it was on Mass Drop, back when they were called Mass Drop. They had a sort of special deal on it, and I was very excited to have all the fancy screwdriver bits. So they're an official partner of the stream, and yeah, I'm typically a vampire, but I've taken my meds, and in the sun, I can tolerate the sun slightly. Okay, we've got all the standoffs. Apparently, we don't use these standoffs at all anymore, which is fantastic. I should might need this bit later. Should probably have a look at what's in the box. Because apparently there's some bits that are essential. Which is so cool. This my little nerd board gets a home finally. Okay, cool. Why don't we'll pull this whole thing out. Have a look at the cool aluminum case. So it is based on, from what I can see, some sort of U-frame kind of situation. There it is. All the noise. All right, so we've got the base. That's if you want to buy accessories for your Mister, and you go to misteraddons.com. Official sponsor, official partner of the stream now. We've got the top shell, very cool, which has this little thing that goes down, and this is apparently going to poke all the way through the analog I/O shield, all the way. How do I? All the way through this, and make contact via a thermal pad with the main sort of chip itself. Therefore, the whole top of the case, and if the top of the case makes good contact with the rest, essentially the whole aluminium case is just a giant heat sink. It doesn't get super hot though. Like, I've been running it for however long I've been playing on it with just this little tiny heat sink, and it doesn't get with the SNES core and the stuff I'm doing, it doesn't get, you know, worryingly hot or anything like that. Anyway, that's some bits. Exciting things that are in the baggie. Just dump it all out. Okay, there's some sort of black screw, and then the provided standoffs. All right. So I'm going to assume that they're not the sort of flush screws. What do you call it? Countersunk. Not the countersunk screws. And that is going on the I/O shield. Fantastic. Guys, check it out. Professional. I'm professional tuber. This is so much fun. Oh, that's right. I just noticed that EJ's sound is off. He's not going to know that I'm calling him a dork in front of tens of people, hundreds of people, thousands. What the? There's like a screw jammed in there. All right. How fun. This is probably not what you woke up expecting to see today on the stream. Probably weren't expecting a daytime stream. They're extremely rare. But I thought there's a couple of reasons. There's a couple of reasons why I decided to do this. Number one, content. Number two, you know when you order stuff online and sometimes something's missing or something's wrong or something's broken? So I thought I'm going to record a video of me opening all this stuff up. And then by the time I got all this stuff set up, I was like, oh, well, damn, I could probably just press start streaming and make it a vid. Okay. Hopefully that's what we got. All right, so there's some additional parts that mine didn't come with because he only added those later on. He's putting his like extra washers in there that I don't care about because I don't have them. Oh, okay, we're just sandwiching it on top of this board. Now, this goes this way, I believe. So we have to, this is how, this is what happens when one nerd PCB really loves another one. So there's a couple of things here. I know that pretty much no one's going to care or want to build one of these, but there's sort of two sets of pin headers that I need to line up. There's these ones here, and there's this main one sort of here. So they both have to line up nicely, or we'll have a bad time. All right. That seems in. We have the boards sandwiched together. It's RAM time. It's RAM time. So RAM, more fun pin headers. These ones here, made with that. The key ingredient here is this side faces outwards. Outwards being towards the outside, I would imagine. Let's see if we can get this. See if we can get this thrown down without breaking anything. Fantastic. SDRAM installed. Okay, this is a new one. This is new. So I previously did not have this USB hub kind of add-on that sort of sits underneath everything as a kind of third layer. But, what's the issue here? To connect that, there's no headers or anything. It doesn't just like sandwich down or anything like that. There's this really weird jank looking thing. Okay, so this is, where is it? This one here. This is the actual USB connector. This is what I've been using to plug my controller in. And so the idea is you've got this weird piece here that sort of goes in here, and then that will mate. So you've got headers underneath that weird bracket, and that mates with these headers right here. But I believe he said something about doing it slightly differently. I'm just going to refer back to the video. So I think he said something about actually removing these sort of black sort of spacer things that are sitting at the bottom of the pins. I'm just going to look at this again for a sec. He said it was an advanced tip. Okay, so apparently you don't cut, but he was using tools like this. You just sort of get under them and they should pull up. Yeah, all right, cool. That's happening. So, in progress. I don't know if any of this is going to be visible because, there we go. You can sort of see there's a little gap underneath them now. I'll show you again once I get a little bit further up, but the don't be fooled by the flush cuts. We are not cutting anything. Simply just using them to, in fact, maybe I could have used some tweezies or something, but there you go. There's you can see what's going on with these headers here now. Made a lot of room underneath them. Does that work? I've seen people do that before. You can see underneath them, I'm pulling the black kind of base up a little bit. Oh man, I love this camera. My overhead one is my normal phone that I use, which is an ancient iPhone. And it actually autofocuses. It's really cool. Better than my ancient Galaxy S7. Alright, so how do I do the rest of this? I don't want to break anything. That's sort of the issue. So I really don't want to have to break anything and then wait another X amount of weeks to have something shipped. So I'd like to do this as least invasive way possible. He did say it was an advanced tip, but you know me. I like to watch. Oh, that's gone somewhere. I have no idea where that is. I'll find that again next year. I like to watch a lot of tech YouTube stuff, and I never realized how. Yeah, you really got to have a nice camera angle. I definitely don't have that, unfortunately. Anyway, guys, we got some not safe for work. We got some naked pin headers down there now. Shh, TOS, guys. Successfully remove those. All right, and we gotta cut them off as well. So apparently we've got to trim them down a bit. And the guide for trimming is these pins here. I'd love to be able to get a good angle here. This sucks. These pins here, I need to trim off enough such that it's sort of flush with the top of this neighboring USB port. So cover your eyes. So we're about to get some shrapnel going here. I think one. And I guess I can use that as a guide for the rest. One, two, three. And then I guess the last two. snip. There it is. All right. Very good. Now, hopefully all the metal has vacated the area. There's nothing worse than having to track down an electronics issue that's resulted by a random piece of metal that's just decided to fall across a couple of conductive points, which is a real problem. I'm just gonna pop them down on a tissue here so I can dispose of them all. One sec. Now, I am a little bit concerned about that, so I'm just gonna kind of brush everything, just give everything a little bit of a brush down, just with it's like a little paintbrush, some soft bristles. I just use for de-dusting things a lot of the time when I do nerd stuff. Alright. Just make sure there's nothing hiding in all these USB ports. Can't be too thorough. Okay. Alright. Probably clean. What's the next move, sir? Oh, we get to use the case. Oh, yes. Alright, so now here's a question. Which is the front of the case and which is the back of the case? Because I haven't memorized any of that stuff. So some of the key indicators are going to be there's some asymmetry in the top half. I know that the power is at the back. HDMI, VGA is at the back. So therefore the power on the hub is also going to be at the back. Now, where's the sync on green switch? Sync on green switch is there. Therefore the rear is this side now. So, awesome. So apparently what we do, because this doesn't like fit, you've got to go USB ports in first and then it lays down and sits nicely. Just like that. Perfect. Perfect in every way. Alright, I'll do that one more time. I really thought it was going to sit in super tight, but there you go. Done. Shh, shh, don't tell anyone we cut that. We cut that from the VOD. Okay, one sec. I'm just making a mess of this. I'm going to line this up with how it looks in the video that I'm trying to follow. Okay, so this switch goes here. Okay, we've done that part. We've kind of almost sandwiched this together into a single unit. But the thing I mentioned before, the little thing that connects the main board, which is this one with the Ethernet port, down to the USB hub, that pin header that I was just working on, still need to seat that. So I don't know what the best way to do this is, because the little bit of flex to it. So I wonder if I need a special tool. I'm going to see what he recommends. What is he doing? Then there's a jump cut and magically it's done. Oh, fantastic. All right. Man, I love videos. That's so good. Okay, what I think I'm going to do, I'm just going to grab something. Okay, we've got some tweezies. And we've got some plasticky things. We'll see if we can figure something out. Okay, so what I think I'm going to do, here's the go. So the thing I'm having an issue with is we've got this little, what's referred to as the USB hub bracket, which is the one that's like a micro USB-B connector that goes out to these pin headers. But I can't push down on this because this has a little bit of flex to it. So I'm going to just like jam something in between the bottom of this main board and the top of this little USB bridge or bracket connector. so that I can push down and it's not flexing anything. I think that's the go. If I wedge that in there, maybe we'll double it up, and then maybe really isn't there we go. All right. I think that was a good way to do it. I don't know what he did. He had some flush cuts in there, just like jamming a bunch of stuff with sharp tools. Anyway, I think that looks good. I think it looks pretty good. This is the area of interest. Okay, what's next? All right. I think I know this. I watched this video the other day because I was excited that this was going to arrive. So right now, nothing's holding it into the case. We've got, obviously we've got little screw sort of holes there. And they're going to have to mate with this kind of main sort of shaft that comes down. So in order to do that, we've been provided some long screws. And some of these spacers. I guess the idea is that this is going to, let's try the other side first. This is going to sort of sit in between the board somehow. And we've got to feed this up through there, and then we can possibly screw that in. That looks like the way to go. Now, the only problem is I might have gone too far with this. It looks like there's not enough space here, so I might have to actually back this out a little bit in order to make this work. Very, very fun. We'll thread that through a little bit. Open this up slightly. I know I'm just going to drop this in here somehow. Something's going to go wrong. This feels super jank. All right, hang on. There we go. All right. So that's good. I think, okay. For future people, if this ever happens, what I would suggest is, see the USB bracket. I can't really cover this up. This is so dumb. This USB bracket that goes from this connector down to the board. You can see there's a little bit of a gap behind the micro USB-B kind of connector. Don't push it all the way down. Don't push that all the way down. Leave a little bit of room. That's my recommendation. It would have saved me a couple of seconds. Okay. We'll just do a couple more. Just finger tight right now. Also, if you're interested and you want to follow along, there is a video by the person that made this case, developed and designed and shipped it out to me. Full disclosure, I did pay for this. I'm not like a big, celebrity or something like that. I just happen to own a bunch of this nerd stuff. I'm gonna get this one in. Yeah, if you want to check it out, misteraddons, M-I-S-T-E-R space A-D-D-O-N-S. Got a YouTube channel. Currently watching the updated version of the misteraddons aluminium. Oh, he spelled it aluminum. Aluminum case assembly updated. Currently about 9 minutes. Just in case that was something that piques your interest. Okay. I imagine that I'm probably going to tighten these down a little bit more. But first, I just want to make sure that there's not a step that happens before that. I see. All right, so there's a small detail. There's a reason there's an updated assembly guide. He's learned a few things after building a stack of these. So before tightening down these screws that kind of hold everything in place, a little bit of pressure pushing it this direction towards the back of the case, this being the back ports. a little bit of pressure towards that way. Make sure it lines up closer to the back. And it's to do with how these, how we're going to deal with these nut kind of things on the VGA connector a bit later on. So, I wish I had a cool electric screwdriver like this dude. Having said that, I'm only assembling one case. I'm not assembling hundreds. Alright, so just, as you can probably tell, using my thumb, just to push the case further towards the back side. I'm not tightening them all up full strength yet, I'm just getting them most of the way in. Then I'll go around and even them up. This is basic sort of stuff, but I figure someone probably wants to hear me say that. Alright. So a little bit tighter. It doesn't, obviously you don't need to over torque it or anything, but you know, I don't want them falling out, do I? Alright, there we go. This is looking awesome so far. I don't even have the front or back panel on or anything like that. I like this. This feels legit now. This is so cool. Alright, so we've tightened everything up. Oh, we get to do some got to place our little rubber feet. How fun is this? Peel and stick. And, you know, like a normal person, or like a person that knows that they'll probably have to open this up again at some point, I'm not placing them over the top of the actual screws. It's a little thing I learned. Like when I I've got this computer mouse here. It's a G100S. It's got a G303 board inside it. Anyway, notice that rather than using a single large mouse skate over the back of it, I used sort of two on either side so I can still access the screw. Because if you're a nerd, you've always got to open stuff up. Boring stuff, just getting some little feet in place. Don't judge me on my placement. There we go. All right. Ooh, it sits so much nicer now. Doesn't clang down. Small detail, but I like it. Something I neglected to do a bit earlier, but we should be all right, is we've got to put this pad, this thermal pad, on the actual CPU. Which way up does it go? I guess it doesn't really matter, right? How am I going to line this up now that I've put the stupid I/O board on top already? That seems pretty good. We'll peel the top off. Yeah, that looks like it's lined up pretty well, if you ask me. Pretty good. No issues with that. Right. So we're actually putting the top on. The top case. It's going to have the buttons and the LEDs and most importantly this sort of heat bridge. It's going to pull the heat off the chip. So obviously the way this is going to function is that we have buttons on the board and lights on the board. Obviously that's going to have to line up kind of that way. But before we do that, the actual buttons, they're essentially just these kind of pegs, I guess, buttons, and then once it's in there, they'll kind of drop down a bit and rest on the actual real buttons in there. So let's see how he approaches this. Okay, he's gone sideways. Let's give that a go. So the other thing that was pointed out, maybe I'll just show that real quick, is that it's a small detail. I don't know if it's going to come out on camera, but there is, at the very top of the case, at the top of these edges, there is actually like a little tiny, like a gutter, like a little indent. I don't know if I can get it at an angle. It's going to show that. So there you go. You can sort of see there is a little little indent for the top of the case to kind of line up in. So that's another thing that I'm just kind of looking out for, is making sure that this actually goes into that little zone. It's hard to feel it though, because the adhesive, sorry, not the heat pad thing, is I have to compress that. So it does, you do need to use a little bit of force to get that down. It does feel good though. Feels nice. Oh, these buttons, so good. Okay, I'm going to hold this in place. A little bit of pressure while I watch the video, see where he's up to. Okay, front panel. Front being this this side here. Side that's got less stuff. We've got the Ethernet, so the network port. It's going to look like that. So I've got special screws just for that. Once again, I'm not going to tighten anything down too much. Oh, how good are magnetic screwdrivers? Oh, alright. Put the screw on there. That's the smart way to do it. Alright. There we go. Just gonna get it in place a little bit. I guess I could, yeah. The back side does have a protruding port, so I can't really sit it on the desk particularly well. Oh goodness. Right. This is the way to go. So what's going on, guys? Sorry, I've been very focused on building this nerd thing, but I do have a bit of a time limit. I'm not, I can't really stick around for a super long time today. I'll come back this evening, and we'll put this thing through its paces. Okay, so that's done. Oh man, this looks so good now. I'm really happy with this. Super stoked about it. Everything lines up pretty well. Once I tighten these down properly, I think it's gonna sit really well. Yeah, I'm a nerd and proud of it. I don't know if I'm that much of a nerd. Maybe I'm not a nerd. Maybe I'm just a regular person. All right, so he just jammed them all down. I might actually wait a little bit to tighten the rest of these up once I get the other side on. But the next important thing is that on this VGA connector, this is what I use to run to my monitor. So just for some stream info, HDMI comes out of here, it runs through a scaler. You can do all sorts of fun filters and things with it. That's what hits the stream, and this is what I see. This goes into the monitor that I use. So anyway, point is, these ugly protruding sort of nuts that the VGA connector goes into, those have to be removed because they are going to be on the outside of the case. It's an excellent detail and I like it. All right, there we go. Here it is. All right, something like that. And then I guess these sort of thread back on. You know, I've very rarely had to use like a socket this small. And thanks to the iFixit 54-bit driver kit, I don't have to worry. It's so easy. You know, a normal person would probably be using pliers and like wrenching things down and scratching up their aluminum. Not me though. This stream is absolutely not sponsored by iFixit as well. I just in case the humor is lost. I just happen to own one of their products and I use it all the time. Please sponsor me. Please sponsor me. All right. Then what's the next move? We chuck that on. We've got those back in. We put the screws in, and then All right, good. Home stretch. Home stretch. But now, a word from our sponsors. We're just putting the last set of screws in. How long have I been doing this for? 49 minutes, which included disassembling my old one, watching a video, messing around. It's pretty good. If you're looking for a 1 hour project, you can absolutely get into this. It's so much fun. I hope that when I plug it all back in, it actually works. Okay. Roughly in. But what I'm going to do, like, because there's still a little bit of play, with these front and back panels, I'm actually I haven't tightened them all the way up. And the reason for that is just so I can kind of make sure everything's sitting as perfect as it can. And then give them the final kind of tighten down. This is such a cool box that I can play games on. All right, how's that? Okay. Is that? I think that's come out a little bit. I'm gonna readjust the fit there. It's one of those, you spend a couple more seconds doing it once, and then it's not going to bother you at all for the rest of your life. It's just it's done. It's done properly. Because it's probably, if you're like me, it's going to bug you slightly every time you see it. But right now, I'm very happy with what I've done. It's only taken a couple more seconds. Okay, the other thing we need to do, we've got to wrench down the just these nuts on the VGA connector. Obviously not mega hard, but decent amount of force on it. Don't want it coming out on the end of my VGA connector. All right, done. Oh man, this is so nice. Look at this. Remember how we started with just a couple of like garbage little circuit boards? Now we've got a full-on thing. All right, last thing. The only thing that's left in my tray of goodies are these little plastic things, the light pipes. I believe there's a few different sizes, a couple of different sizes. We've got 2 light pipes that are going to just sort of snap in over the openings where the LEDs would sit. And I've been informed that I should use a rubbery kind of thing to kind of really snap them in there. Now, where did number 3 go? Well, it'll turn up. It'll totally turn up one day. For now, got to keep pushing forwards. Right. Fill in all of the holes in the case where LEDs are with the little tiny sort of light guides. I don't know if they're really... Oh, guys, it fell back into the actual container. All right. Crisis averted. It's all good. So top case done, looking good. Let's just do the rest of these one at a time. I don't want to drop any more. Now, I guess one thing that's going to be a little bit of a pain in the butt, if I ever need to worry about it, is that the SD card slot is slightly more inaccessible now. But I do have this plugged into a network, so I can do everything over network. But this SD card is very inside the case now. I would need like a tool like this or something to kind of poke at it to eject it. But I don't have an issue with that right now. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Looks like there's a couple on this side. That's 1. That's a 2. I really want to fire this thing up. I know nothing's really going to have changed. And I might need to, yeah. The setup I've got for where it's plugged in, it's kind of annoying. It's sort of behind this camera here. So I might actually just have to move the power for it and stuff. I have to move a bunch of cables. All right, we'll just throw a couple of these in here. And do a few at once. There is that kind of thing, that the sort of dread where it's like, oh no, I'm going to plug it in and nothing's going to light up because I've broken something. And 2 more. All right, good. Right, 2 more. 1, 2. This IKEA. Did I order this from IKEA? I've got an extra. What am I going to do with an extra light pipe thing? Certainly I've missed a hole. I guess it's for people that are dumb enough to drop them, right? Don't look at me like that. 1, 2. Okay, we've got 3 across the front. 1, 2, 3. Got 3 across this side. We've got 2 here. We've got 1, 2, 3 here. KO gamer. What's going on? I think I'm done. I think we've assembled it. I think we have the case. Let me just watch the rest of this nerd's video. All right, that's it. That's actually the whole video. All right, fantastic. Window is closed. So, what was this? Why do I have so many things? Got an extra light pipe down there. We've got all this trash that I don't need anymore. Don't need these standoffs. Just clean up the workspace a little bit. And then we'll try and plug this thing in. See if it lights up. Alright, we've got some extra screws here as well from the old kit. Free case. Oh yeah, the other thing that's cool now, because we've got the USB hub sort of thing down the bottom, we now have to power 2 things, because you want a powered hub, right? You want to plug a million things into this stupid thing. Anyway, now there's this sort of power splitter with a switch, so I can actually turn things on and off. So, will this reach? Will this cable reach? Oh, it is surprisingly long. Oh no, my overlay's incorrect. I didn't see that come up. Dizzying spinster. Please. Please. There it is. Hey! It did come up. Fantastic. All right. Now, I don't have this plugged in to anything. Maybe, let's see how long my VGA connector is. I'm going to have to turn off my face camera for a second, because I'm probably going to have to move it and bump it and do all sorts of nasty things. Oh, all right. All right. All my cable management down the drain. All right, here we go. So, VGA. Oh, you guys won't be able to see anything unless I plug in, actually, no. Here's an idea. Here's a fun idea that's fun for the family. It's fun for you and it's fun for me. We'll tilt this up a bit. Guys, check out the camera work. The epic camera work. I'll put my face cam back on, which is no longer my face cam. It is. It's a computer. That's my monitor that I like to use. So you'll be able to. We're doing it old school. Power. Can I get some length on that? Turn the switch on. Well, let's 1 sec. Monitor. That's me. Hi. Can I get a bit of length on this? This is so funny. All right, we'll turn this on. Perfect. That's what you'd be expecting. Good. All right, we'll plug in a controller for a sec. Are you blind? Okay, we'll go down to Super Nintendos. This is how we used to stream back in the day, all right? Super Mario World USA. All right, welcome to Super Mario World, guys. Success. Look at this. We've got the menu button going. Yeah, this is awesome. I've only done 6 exits of Super Mario World. What a shame. What a shame. Alright, guys. I'm really pumped. This is so cool. We made it. We made it. It's now in a case. It looks awesome. We're really stoked. And yes. Got the man, that doesn't look half bad actually. Maybe I should CRT. That's the thing, right? It doesn't look that bad. I'm surprised at how not bad this the CRT looks on camera. It's supposed to be a flickery mess. I can see you got some stuff going on occasionally. Oh, that's starting to look a bit nasty. Maybe just back it off, get to the side. Is it adjusted now? This is how we stream. There's no audio right now, by the way. I didn't plug in any audio or anything like that. Oh, this is how we play. Oh no, the black is creeping in. Oh man. All right, hit reset. And what that resets to this menu. All right, awesome. Awesome, awesome. So stoked. Back in SNES land. Yeah. Cool. I'm not going to do too much more. Let me just get my face working again. I'm sure this is really exciting. I'm going to have to plug a whole bunch of stuff back in. Well, I guess I probably don't need this overhead camera anymore now that everything's done. I'm just going to switch this off. We'll unplug all the stuff that we use. And admire our work. I'll put it up this way for you guys. There we go. Finally. Oh, and the top actually has absorbed a bunch of heat, which is really good. It's functioning as intended, as a heat sink. So, really happy. It finally arrived. Got the case. And now it's looking very pro. How can you find something like this? I would suggest that you go and visit this particular guy. That's it. Nerd box is done, looking pro. You'll never see it on stream, by the way. This is just for me, but I figure, hey, there you go. We often, people say, hey, are you playing on an emulator or are you playing on a SNES or whatever? And I have to say no, and then try and explain what this is all about. So look, now you've seen some stuff. At the start of the stream, if you want to watch the VOD back, you can see what the guts were kind of beforehand. And I might, you might maybe edit it and cut it and put it on YouTube or something, but there you go. That's the thing that drives the whole stream. Time to shut down. Bye bye.